Hello, everyone, again, and welcome to the third DigiEduHack coaching call with me, Madeline. If you're new here, welcome to the whole series. If you're wondering what this is, we are organizing a series of 14 different coaching calls over a time span of 12 weeks, this being the third one, to help new hosts and all local hosts in the big DigiEduHack program to register as a host, create a web page, recruit participants, mentors, all the steps that you need to know in order to plan and organize your own DigiEduHack hackathon in November with us. If you haven't seen the previous ones, I recommend that you go there first, check out the previous videos where we show you how you register and how you create your challenge and choose what challenge to build and so on, and then you can watch this one. If you have any questions, you can write them in the YouTube chat down here, and we will answer them in text as we go throughout this coaching call. And where can you find the materials? You can find the materials either linked in the description here after the video or after this live video, and then you can also find all materials displayed and shown on the DigiEduHack webpage at digieduhack.com. Without further ado, let's jump in to coaching call number 3. Today we're gonna teach you how to set up your web page and your own Discord server. Everyone is going to get into the same Discord server, I could say, but you're gonna get your own space for your own local hackathon. This way we see what you're doing and we are able to support you live in the same workspace, but you also have the privacy of your own. Without further ado, first we're going to go through a website guide that you can again find on the website that's going to help you create your own website on the big DigiEduHack platform. We're going to go through how to register as a user. We've talked about it in some terms, but now we're going to show you step by step, how do you do it on the platform? How do you become a user? We're also going to show you how to submit your challenge on the web page. Again, we've talked about what your challenge can be about and so on, but now we're going to show you on the web page, how do you submit your own challenge? We're going to go through how you manage your participants, so how you screen your participant registrations to your own hackathon challenge, and how you approve participants or reject participants. And lastly, as I said, we're going to go through Discord and show you a live demonstration of what is in there, how do you use it, and how can you benefit from Discord the most. As said, you will get a website guide. You can find it on the platform. I'm not going to go through it slide by slide. I'm going to show you some bits and pieces from there, but it contains pretty much the similar content as we're going to go through here today. So nothing crazy there, and nothing that we're not going to let you know here as well. But we're going to jump a bit back and forth those contents today. In the guide, you can see again, how do you register to the platform as a user and as a host? How do you actually submit your challenge? Your personal area, meaning how can you adjust your profile and your own challenge on a broader view? And how do you, as said, manage your participants? And finally, again, some screenshots of the Discord server and how you are able to use it. But first and foremost, I hope that most of you have registered as users already, but if you have not, this is how it's done. You can do it using 3 different options, or you can approach the registration process from 3 different angles. First, you can go to the homepage, so the landing page of digieduhack.com, and just simply click become a host. You can also go a bit further on the page, a bit deeper down, and go to the section called Want to Become a Host on our platform. And then finally from there, click the banner that says Become a Host. From the menu bar is the third option. If you visited the website already, you know, and if you haven't, please do so. You have the menu bar on the top right corner where you can click Log In and then finally click Sign Up for your first registration. Once you do this, you will get a link to your email that lets you activate your account. So you need to click that link within 24 hours from receiving the link, and then it will redirect you to the DigiEduHack platform again. And then after all of this is done, you can log in with your user and password after that every time you visit. How do you submit your challenge? First, I'm gonna jump a bit into the guide that I already kind of mentioned, like this. Just a second, there we go. You will get your own personal area. Again, in the top right corner, in the menu bar, you see your own profile, and there you can first, when you have only registered as a user, you can adjust and modify your own details under account details, and obviously log out as well. To be able to do a bit more things on the platform, you need to also register as a host with your challenge. So submit your challenge by clicking Host a Hackathon on the website, and then you will be able to not only modify and adjust your own personal information and your own profile information. And as you can see already, when you register as a host, you get one new line in your My Profile part of the website, where you can get into the main Discord server that we're again going to go through in detail very soon. But this way you get the link to the Discord server, but you can also modify and make adjustments to your own challenge now. And you can also screen your participants and the solutions that they've sent in, and again, get into your own challenge server on Discord this way. Jumping back to our previous page. And there we go. So once you logged in, click Host a Hackathon, as you saw on the previous slide I showed as well. And then you fill in a form. It takes you to a submission form where you fill in all the content that you want your challenge to include. You've probably already drafted a version of your own challenge somewhere in an ideation document, or however you've gone forward. So it should be basically copy pasting that into these empty fields. It will tell you exactly what it wants to know and where about your challenge, about any requirements that you might have, your target audience or participant audience, and so on. So it'll help you through. And then you need to submit your challenge on the third spot here. And this is very important, not only because otherwise you won't have a challenge submitted, but if you don't submit, all the drafts that you've done, everything that you've done so far will be deleted when you leave the page. So even if your challenge isn't complete or it's a draft that you're submitting, you need to submit in order for it to save. There's no save before that. And this is why we suggest, of course, that you draft your challenge somewhere else and then just send in the final version. But just so you know, that is an important thing to know. After your challenge is submitted, it will be reviewed by the central team. So someone from the DigiEduHack central team, and it will be approved within 48 hours. Or then you will be contacted by us if we need some more information or there's something we're wondering still about the challenge. And again, if you submit it without it being finalized, which you need to do in order to save, we will go through it and we'll see that it's probably not finalized yet. So don't stress about that. When you're submitting your challenge, make sure, and I said it in the last coaching call as well, make sure that you use British English when creating your challenge page. This is to make sure that we have the same language over all of our several local hackathons that are all under the same DigiEduHack umbrella, so that it keeps the same language and same style. And here you can see some examples of what we mean with British English. We also advise you and kindly ask, if not require, to add a personalized banner to your challenge page to differentiate your local hackathon from the others. You can either use the DigiEduHack template and the ground banner that you see behind me as well, and add something of your own to it, a picture of your own organization, an animation that explains your hackathon theme or your challenge topic, anything that you want. It can be something completely different, but please add that banner under image in the submission form. It just says image and then you attach a file. And make sure that the address you put, if you are an on-site hackathon, that the address field follows the guidelines that are written in the form. If it does not, it won't be able to show your address on the website, and we will need to contact you and take care of that afterwards. So regardless of the format, you need to put in your address and make sure that you follow the guidelines there so that the address actually is visible on your challenge page when it's published. How do you manage your participants? When participants register to your challenge, you will receive an email to that email that you provided when creating your profile and creating your challenge, of course. And you can go to your personal profile and find the My Participants tab that we showed you earlier. And here you're able to see the participants, the list, their contact details that you need for confirming and refusing them. And here you can either confirm a participant, which means that you trigger an invitation email that is sent directly to their contact detail that is, again, linked to their profile, and they are invited to join your hackathon and your challenge as a participant. The same way, you're able to refuse a participant from this list as well. And again, it triggers a refusal email here that this person is not invited or unfortunately is not joining your hackathon challenge. Here, to keep a good atmosphere and transparency, please have very clear the basis for rejection here. So if you have any specific requirements, it should be very clear why this person did not meet that requirement. As an example that you can see here on screen as well, if it's only open for students at a certain university and it's an educator from that university requesting to join, they do not fit the criteria, and therefore a refusal email is understandable and so on. So be clear with the requirements based on which you approve or reject a participant. Finally, Discord. As said, we will have a public server and then your own Discord workspace under the same Discord platform and Discord landing page, so to say. In your personal area, you will find a link to the server of DigiEduHack 2023, again, which I showed you in the previous slides from the personal area. And this is to allow interaction with not only you as a host and us as a central team, but with other hosts all around. And as I said, it's not only Europe, it's a global event. So you can interact with hosts, with participants, with members of different governance bodies, and of course us as the central team for any questions or just some good conversation. You can also keep yourself informed by joining Discord and taking a look at it every once in a while. The central team will give you general announcements, updates, news on anything that is happening. And of course, this is an easy platform for you to ask questions to the central team or take part of the questions that other people are asking, other hosts are wondering and asking, and it might help you with your challenge as well. For the first connection, when you first click the Discord link, you will be asked to create an account and a password. And then after this, you can use it in your browser or download the app, which we recommend. Yes. So the public server has different sections that you can take part of for different reasons and purposes. We have the information section where you get, as said, general information about DigiEduHack, its events, news, announcements, maybe some community rules, etc., etc. And the central team will be the only ones updating here. So it's more of a announcement channel. And this is for hosts, participants, governance bodies. So it's a bit of everything for all our participants in that section. We will also have a community channel section to build the community and have some interactions, some good discussions about not only participants, but hosts and participants, Europe, beyond Europe, just to have a good atmosphere and share what is going on in our different local spots. And here everyone can edit, everyone can tell each other what they're doing and what they're up to. And the target group here is, again, everyone who wants to join. If you've been to Discord, you know that we have both the text channels and voice channels. The voice channels are made for or to allow real-time video or voice communication. You can have small virtual gatherings, networking, you want to present something live. That's what they're made for, and they're open again for everyone to use. And we have the hosts area that is only between the central team, the DigiEduHack central team, and the hosts themselves. This is a private space for hosts where you can either interact with one another, if brainstorm and troubleshoot together, access the resources that we have created for hosts, and also contact the central team. And again, here you can take part of the questions that other people have asked the central team as well. So very useful for you to join and a very easy and quick way to get information and answers. This is what it's going to look like. If you've been to Discord, you already know, so it's nothing new. But on the left there and upper corner with the Discord image or animation, you can see your own private messages if you're messaging someone just one-to-one. You can see a list of the different servers that you're a part of. And then on the second column here, you see all of the channels. We're going to go through them live in just a few slides. So you're going to see this a bit closer up. But as you can see, you have the general channels there. And in this column, you will also get your own local hackathon related channels. And then you can see all of the users on the left there, on the right there, excuse me. And you can see all the users that are in the different channels, just so that you can make sure that once you start adding people, or you just want to make sure that you know who is a part of each channel, that's where you go. The big window, of course, is the current channel, the current chat that you're in, and some settings there for your voice and your profile there on the left column, but on the down low. How do you then edit your user profile, or what should you have as your display name? Come up with a nickname or a display name that people are going to then see. It's good if you describe a bit maybe your role, or then just simply have your first and last name. You will also see that you have different roles. So for you, it will be a host, for example, which then automatically gives you the access to the host area that we discussed earlier, where hosts can talk to each other and to the central team. And different roles obviously gives you different access. And we're going to show you how you put the roles for your own participants as well in your own workspace. And on the right there, you have your user setting view. So where you get to your profile and how you can edit your nickname and so on. So as said, once you have your own challenge submitted and published on the website, the central team will create a private section for that challenge. So it will be under the challenge name that you've chosen and that you've submitted. And once you have been added to this and it's been created, you will be able to create your own challenge channel, and interact with your own audience, so your own participants, maybe your own mentors and jury members if you add those. To access, you need to first join and then click I am a host. It will open a button for that, and we'll show you that as well very soon. And then you can join your event in your own channels. We advise you, and we're going to show you again, that you have your event community channel, and these are pre-made, so it's going to be shown already. We advise you to use the event community channel to post content, post news announcements, resources, information about your hackathon that you think could be useful for your participants, maybe some other related events that you want to inform them of, and also answer questions and messages from your own audience. So have the option there for people to ask you questions as well. You will also have a matchmaking/networking channel where you can foster connections between your participants. Also do some actual matchmaking, which means if we have people looking for groups to join, or we have groups looking for new group members and they need to complete their team, this is where you can let them network and chat with each other and form new teams and complete their own teams. And this is good to be done already before the hackathon, so that once the hackathon starts, they only have to focus on the work and not on finding their teams. But up to you, of course. And then you have, as said, the event community voice channel for voice and video calls and any presentations or any gatherings or whatnot that you want to do. And next, you're going to see, if you download this deck after the presentation and after the coaching call is done, you're going to see lots of screenshots here that will help you and guide you through all the steps from joining Discord the first time to creating roles and creating channels of your own and so on. But to make it easier for you now, we're going to show you a live demonstration now instead.
So when you join Discord, after you've created an account and a password, you will have to accept the rules to be able to partake in the conversation on the channel. Once the rules are accepted, you can then come to this Join Your Event channel to declare yourself as a host. So you can just click I am a host. Once you've clicked I am a host, you will receive a private message from our very lovely automation system called Sapphire. And Sapphire will simply inform you that the central team is reviewing your demand to be added as a host. Ways that you can make the process be faster is by adding your nickname as your first name and your last name, so we can already look at the list of our hosts and make sure that you are actually a real host of a hackathon. Please allow a full workday for this to happen. Once we have added you as a host, you will be able to find yourself in the list of your user profile, and there in your roles, you should see the little host role being added. This will, like we discussed, open for you this private area of channel called the host area. And host area, there is a host chat channel where hosts can discuss with one another. There is a resources forum where a central team is posting resources. So you can consult each of the questions asked, etc., to find a resource that fits. There is another forum called Questions, where you can ask your own specific questions to which we will answer. So when you have a new question, you can search if that question has already been asked and then read the answer that has been given to the person who asked the question originally. If you have a new question that's never been asked before and you've looked into it, then you can just post a new question and we will have it. If for some reason you still have questions and the answer was not satisfactory and you really can't find information, you can still send us more free-form messages and I still have a question channel. Now, if you are a host of an online or a blended event, that's when we will create a lot of add-on things for you. So if you are the host of an in-person event, you will only have the channels that have been described previously, meaning the event community channel, the matchmaking networking channel, and event community voice channel. If you need more, you will be able to create more, but as a default, that's what we will offer. Hosts from online and blended events will get access to more resources so they can host their events on Discord to have the online communications being mediated through Discord. So, how will you be able to leverage these channels and section? Well, very simply, we will create an automation message in this channel called Who Are You, where your audience will be able to choose what is their role in your event based on how they register. So if they are a participant or a hacker, that's how we often call participants of hackathon. They can just click I'm a participant. If they are mentors that you've invited, they can click I'm a mentor. If they're a judge, they will be able to click I'm a judge. And if it's an other person, maybe you invited your partners or any other stakeholder to your hackathon, then they can change they can choose the other role. And that again will add new roles to these participants that fit who they are in your event, and therefore allow you to manage your audience more easily on Discord. When the event gets closer, we offer you the possibility to create another automation to have your participants or hackers join a private text channel for only their team, where they will be able to collaborate together, and where you and your mentors, if you decide so, will be able to offer support and participate in the conversation. So very similarly, it's a It's a drop down, and they will be just able to choose which team is their team. Click it, and for instance, team 1 will have access to the team 1 private channel and only communicate with the people listed here, meaning the hosts, the other member of their team, and the mentors. How will you be able to create this sounding complicated automations? Well, it's actually very easy. You can go to the resources forum and click access to Sapphire, the automation tool. There, in the first message at the top of this thread, you have a link to said Sapphire dashboard. So there, that's where you will be able to access the automation tool. Before you get started on creating your automation, you need to make sure that you have roles for each of the teams, so you're able to manage them. So to do that, you have to go to the server settings, click roles, and then you can create a role. This will create a new role. You can change the name of the role. Please use the naming convention of country code, alpha code 2 letters. So let's say your event is in Spain, so ES. Then the start date of your event. Let's say we start on the first day, which is the 6th of November. Then the format of your event. Let's say we are doing a blended event. And then finally, what type of role this is? Well, this is for a hacking team. So team, and it will be the first team of our hackathon, so team 1. Align the color of the role to other roles of the same time. So hackers of teams, you can find them in the list and you just choose the same color for them. And you can save changes. Then go to the permissions. So you limit and handle what kind of things these people will be able to do. There, what you need to focus on is change nickname, so they can themselves change their name, so they can put their real name or else. So change nickname, you can tap it green. Then things related to be able to communicate in text channels, so send message and message in threads, create threads, public and private, send links, attachment files, and use reactions, meaning little emojis. You also want them to be able to read the history of messages. So if they join your server later, they will still have access to the history. You want them to be able to use application comments. That's little help tools that everyone has access to on Discord. And then similarly for voice channel permissions, you want them to be able to connect to them, to speak in them, to use video if they want to share their screen or have face-to-face conversation. You want them to be able to use the voice activity, so they don't have to mute and unmute themselves manually every time they speak, but just speak and the microphone will mute and unmute automatically. And that is it. Then you can again save your changes, and that has created a new role. You cannot exit without saving your changes. You will have an error and the little banner will become red. Now you have at least one role. Create all of the roles you need for all of the teams you have. Go back to the resources forum, access to Sapphire, and then the link to the dashboard. Click it. This will open the dashboard. The first time to join, you will have to link your Discord account to the dashboard. It will prompt you to do it very simply. So just click yes, give the authorization to join with your account. If you are a member of several servers, you will have to select the right server. So it has to be DigiEduHack 2023 community server. In there, you will only have access to the messages section. How you will be able to create your join your team automation. First, you will have to go to templates to create the message. You can create a new template, give it a name based still on the naming convention we have for the events, meaning country code, starting date, and then format, and you add. Now you can click on it, edit it, and then you're going to be able to load templates that we prepared for you so you don't have to do everything. So you will load the template, join your team template. And there you go. You already have the message written for you. We recommend you to edit this part to the naming convention for your team. Then you need to click the little gear icon and in action, select new action, and same thing, use the naming convention for your event, country code in 2 letters, starting date, format, and click the little green tick. You can save the changes for now. Now the message is created, but its content is not ready yet. So now you need to go back to messages and components. And in components, you can see that your menu is already ready for you to edit it. So you can find it from the list. You click it to open it, and you already have default options there. Maybe you have more than 5 teams, so you will need to add options. Add option. Team 6, etc. Once you have all of the options you need, and do not forget to make a I made a mistake option so people can correct themselves if they made a mistake. Click the plus icon, add role, and search for the role that you created for that team for your event. Do the same thing for all of your teams. Find a matching role that you created on Discord. In I made a mistake, you want people to be able to remove the roles that they have added and shouldn't have. So choose remove roles and there add all the roles assigned to teams for your event. All of them. All of the team roles should be there. Once you've done that, you can save your changes. Now your content is ready. You can go back to the message, find yourself in the list again, open it, go to the edit pane, and you can align the options that people will see to the practical component options you've created. So you want team 1 to have the team 1 action. You want team 2 to have team 2 action. If you have a naming convention for teams like team 1, 2, 3, 4, which we recommend and is much more practical for communication, you can still add as a description of the option the name the team has given themselves. So superpower is the nickname of our first team. So we added as an extra option. So it will show so people from team 1, if they have forgotten that you've assigned them the number 1, will find still themselves very easily. Once you've done all the connections and you have all of the options you need, you can save changes. Now you want to use that message and actually made it available for your teams to use the automation a couple days ahead of your event once your teams are formed and the channels for them are ready. You can click here to select the channels, find your community event section of Discord, and we advise you to send it in the Who Are You channel because it's a channel where no one can post and people can only interact with the automation. And then finally, send. if you have realized you made a mistake or some information is missing, you can always come back, edit the message, edit the options, go back to the components, edit the components, and then to edit the message you already sent on Discord, you will have to copy paste the link of the message you sent previously. So it will edit the message where it is and not send a new message. If you send a new message, people might get confused and not understand which one they're supposed to use, and it will create errors. So that would not happen. You can go to your Discord, to your Who Are You channel, find the Join Your Team original message that you already sent earlier, click the little more icon with the 3 dots, copy message link, and then from there you can come back to your Sapphire automation tool, paste your link and click edit. All the edits you've done on Sapphire since you sent the message the first time will now be reflected in the message on Discord without sending a new message. So that's how you create the automation. The final step for it is to have the private channels for the teams to which they will add themselves automatically by using the automation you just made. For that, you can create a new channel in your event community by using the little plus sign. Choose the type of channel. We recommend to use text channels. That's the main mode of communication. Give that channel a fitting name. So team 1. Make sure you click the slider to make it private. Click next. Choose the roles that we have access to that channel. As a default, we advise you to have the role of that team, your inventors, and your hosts team. And then you can create the channel. And only people with the roles you've added will be able to post, interact, and see the channel. And that's how you make a private channel for your team. You will have to create a channel for each of them. So each of the teams will have a private channel with the associated role, limiting access. And that concludes our presentation for Discord.
So, as you can see, fairly easy. A few things, but nothing too difficult that we know that you can handle. If you have any questions on this or on anything else that we discussed today or in the coaching calls that have been previously, feel free to reach out at contact@digieduhack.com. And also a new thing, we're starting weeklies, so weekly live support calls on Discord on Fridays, 10 a.m. CEST or later CET time zone. Not the next Friday, but the Friday after that. So not next week, but then. And in these, we have the coaching calls, of course. They're not going to stop. They're not going to go anywhere. We're going to meet you here weekly on Wednesday. But since in these calls, you're only able to ask me questions in the chat, but otherwise not interact as much, we're having interactive weeklies on Friday mornings as well, where you can tune in to ask live questions and have a video chat with one of the central team members. You can also just listen to other people's questions and so on. In order to find these, of course, you need to register as a host, publish your challenge so that you get the Discord link. And if you have not done so, please do it as soon as possible. You have time until the end of the coming month, but we do urge you to create your challenge and register it as well as yourself as soon as possible. For the weeklies, you will then get a calendar invite. So everyone who has published a challenge will get a calendar invite to these. So another reason for you to register and send in your challenge to us. Without further ado, we want to thank you for joining our third coaching call. We wish you a wonderful afternoon and see you next week again.